Can you believe one of the most dangerous substances on planet Earth is recommended to be put in your mouth for decades by a trusted healthcare professional? We're going to talk about how mercury fillings are destroying your health and how there's a huge cover up for you to get the proper information that you need in order to protect yourself from these dangerous amalgam mercury fillings. But before we get started, I'm Dr. Nick Zarowski and welcome to the channel. Be sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and remember, if you don't hit the notification bell, you'll never know when my new videos come out because YouTube's more interested in censoring my information versus promoting it. So hit that notification bell, and then also if you really want to take control of your health, make your way on over to www.drz.tv. Now, many of you know that I talk about toxicity and detoxing all the time because it's a topic I'm very passionate about. I've seen so many lives change when you use proper detoxification protocols. But when we talk about detoxification, we have to first start thinking about the very things that caused us to be toxic in the first place. We talk about environmental toxins like pesticides and chemicals that are found in your kitchen appliances and the chemicals in your food and all these different things, right? But the one thing I really haven't touched on too much are the chemicals that are being used by your healthcare professionals, your trusted healthcare professional, and that is your dentist. Because let me tell you, I was devastated when I found out a local dentist had filled a young patient of mine's mouth with 4 different mercury fillings. Mercury, one of the most dangerous substances on planet Earth, they're putting into this young child's mouth, and that mercury leaches from those fillings for years and years to come. Every time a warm beverage is drank, every time it's rubbed against when you're chewing food, those mercury vapors come off of that mercury filling. They go into the brain, and the mercury specifically, it likes to lodge itself in the deep fatty tissues. Okay, well, what's a deep fatty tissue? That would be your brain, that would be your nervous system tissue, and it's wildly dangerous, but yet dental professionals are still practicing this dangerous practice today. Now, I help so many people go to the proper dentist and get these removed properly, because that's the thing is if you have these in your mouth and you're going to get them removed, it has to be done professionally and properly by a dentist who has gone through the training in order to remove the mercury fillings properly. Because many dentists, they say, oh, you want those out? Well, let me just go start popping them out. Very dangerous, because all of that mercury residue gets into the body, into the intestines, and causes significant amount of health issues. Now, we'll talk about some of the health issues that I've seen come out of this in just a moment. But before we do, I want to jump into how the actual amalgam manufacturers are effectively silencing the mercury toxicity info, because we know how toxic this mercury is. It's been around forever, but yet it's constantly being silenced. Now, here's one of the things that you have to understand is that the dental industry would have a mutiny on their hand if people realized the devastation that they have been causing so many individuals. But let's read this. The Dental Tribune acknowledged that they removed the mercury and dentsply articles because they received a big complaint from the company Dentsply, I don't know how you say that word. The move has environmental and health activists worried that the industry bigwig has no plans to stop their mercury manufacturing and instead may be simply switching their target market according to Consumers for Dental Choice. Now, here's the thing, is that I haven't seen dentists go and put a lot of mercury fillings into adults, but I see them doing it in kids all the time. And the answer that I always hear from parents is that, oh, well, even though Dr. Zarowski, you told me they were dangerous, and I went and told the dentist I thought that it wasn't a good idea, he said, no worries, these are just baby teeth, they'll fall out anyway. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? So you're going to pollute your kid's brain for the next 5 years until he loses his teeth? Not a good idea. The censored Dental Tribune piece included reference to the Treaty on Phasing Down the Use of Amalgam and wildly held concerns that the dental companies will dispose of mercury-containing filling materials in Africa, South Asia, and Latin America. Oh my gosh. So basically they're saying, yeah, we aren't going to do it in America anymore, but we're going to go pollute somebody else. And here's the thing that you have to understand about mercury. As I said, it's one of the most dangerous substances on planet Earth, but you know, it has to be handled with precaution prior to be putting in your mouth. So when these dental offices get it in, it's mercury, it's a toxic substance. It has to be handled very carefully. And then they put it in your mouth and somehow it's magically safe. Now, if they were to ever go and remove that mercury filling from your mouth because you say, hey, dentist, I heard that this is really bad for you. I want to get these out of my mouth. They would go and they'd take them out and they'd have to use the proper precautionary measures to dispose of that very toxic substance that was somehow safe as it was in your mouth, but when they pulled it out, it's no longer safe, and they have to make sure they dispose of it properly using proper procedures. So you can see the irony in that whole situation. It's dangerous before it's in your mouth, you put it in your mouth, now it's safe, now it's dangerous again if we take it out. Fears that dentistry might now be looking at developing countries as major markets for mercury amalgam fillings were heightened after dentistry's sponsorship of a conference in Birmingham, England this August. A critical theme of the conference, the demise of amalgam, appeared to apply only to the distribution of amalgam products in European countries by taking the unusual step of censoring these articles in prominent dental publications. Dentistry has exacerbated those fears. Okay, so here you have the information being censored. Dentists still putting mercury fillings in people's mouths, and it's very dangerous. And then also, just in general, dentists not owning up to the fact that they have harmed so many people through this. Now, you might say, well, Dr. Zarowski, what kind of problems have you seen come out of these mercury fillings? I have seen enormous amount of issues in people. It's like you have these people who come and they present and they have a million problems going on. And you look at their situation and go, oh my gosh, what a disaster. And then you go, how could this be happening? This person, our bodies are always striving genetically to have good health. However, if you're sitting there being poisoned on a daily basis, you can't have good health. So you take some individuals and they got hormone disruption, and they got gut issues, and their brain won't work, and all these different issues going on. And you look in their mouth and they have a mouth full of silver. You better believe that they are being poisoned. They have been being poisoned, and this is affecting them greatly. So what we do is we go through a proper protocol. You go to a proper dentist. There's a dental group called the International Academy of Oral Medicine and Toxicology. It's the IAOMT, and I believe their website is IAOMT.org, if I'm correct off the top of my head. But you can go to that website and you can find a dentist who is certified in these natural dental practices, and you can go to them and you can get these different amalgams pulled out. And typically when the dentist goes and pulls them out, they're going to go through a very safe procedure, but they will always go through a safe procedure, but they will also typically send you to somebody to go and do some sort of detoxification protocol. In that case, we work with a lot of dentists and people who are going through these protocols in order to get these amalgams removed properly. And then, of course, get all the different mercury that stores up into their body, get that out. Now, I've seen so many people have their hormones balanced, their brain turned back on, their gut issues go away, their just general fatigue problems. I mean, you name it, just go away after they get their amalgams removed and they go through a proper detox protocol. Now, you have to understand too, we test for this stuff. We look to see how much mercury is in your body. It's not some arbitrary thing where we go, oh, there's amalgam filling, so that equals mercury. No, we test for it. And in fact, it's something that is always unbelievable as to how much of it can actually bioaccumulate in your body. So the bioaccumulation of mercury is tested through using a chelating agent to help pull mercury from the body, the deep tissues, the fat tissues, because that's where it stores. You pull it out and then you do a urine test. And that urine test at that point will give us a good idea as to how much mercury you have in your system. Now you have to understand, going through the detox process to remove this out of your system takes some time. If you have high levels of mercury, it could take up to a year or two in order to get it out. And so it's a process. But the big thing and the big takeaway from this article is that if you have amalgam fillings, you need to get them taken out properly by a biosafe dentist. You can go to the IAOMT and they will help you find a dentist local to you, okay? Now, after you get these mercury fillings removed, you can go through a proper detox in order to make sure that you're getting all the excess mercury that's bioaccumulated in your body out. You also should test for it to see what levels are in there. So that way, as you're going and doing the detox, you know how long you have to detox, how long you have to chelate this from your system. Many dentists will tell you it's completely safe. Most experts would believe that there's no level of mercury that's safe for the human body. So understand that there's a lot of misinformation out there on this topic. Many people will not tell you the truth, and it's important to identify big things. These are root cause factors that are destroying your health. Give this video a thumbs up because let me tell you, this is information that we need to get out to more people. Many people are walking around with these silver fillings. And share with me your story in the comments below. How many mercury fillings do you have in your mouth? Have you thought about getting them removed? Is this something that you're afraid is actually destroying your health at this point in time? And let's start a conversation below, because if you have this going on, it's very critical you take action on it. And let me tell you, it is an absolute devastation to the general public that not only have dentists suppress this information, but the dental industry in general just doesn't come out and say it like it is. This is dangerous. They've hurt an enormous amount of people, and it's time to make this right by helping people get the proper information to get these mercury fillings, these very dangerous mercury fillings, out of their mouth so that they can live a better life. Be sure to check out some of the other videos on this channel, and I'll put some resources to how to detox in the description below.